Welcome back to Conejo Valley Visionaries. I'm your host, Cristina Dennstedt. In this episode, I sit down with Jacopo Falleni, the owner of Nonna in Westlake Village and Sette Sorelle in Newbury Park. Jacopo shares his inspiring journey from Florence to New York and then California, building successful restaurants, an amazing team, and a vibrant social media presence along the way. Though his advice for entrepreneurs is to not open a restaurant, Jacopo admits there's an addiction to being a restaurant owner. Discover how his resilience, relationship building skills, and desire to keep growing have shaped his hospitality career and brand expansion. With that, I hope you enjoy this conversation with Jacopo Falleni. If you enjoy this episode and find value in the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and rating. This helps more people find the podcast, and therefore each story can reach more folks in the Conejo Valley. Our second annual Female Founders event is on March 24th. Have you gotten your ticket yet? If not, go to Conejo Valley Visionaries on Instagram, send me a DM, and I'll send you the link to RSVP. At the event, I'll be interviewing some of the incredible female founders of your favorite local businesses. Whether you want to connect with others, learn how to launch and grow a business, or simply take a break from your kids, the second annual Female Founders event is for you. So, if you want to join us this year, send me a DM at Conejo Valley Visionaries, and I will send you the link to get your ticket. I hope to see you on March 24th at our second annual Female Founders event. Ciao, Jacopo. Thank you so much for being on Conejo Valley Visionaries today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Fantastic.
Good, great. Well, I am so thrilled that we were able to find some time to get you on the podcast. I have been a longtime Nonna fan and obviously very curious about Sette Sorelle. So I cannot wait to hear the journey and how, you're running these amazing restaurants. So what we like to do here on the podcast, Jacopo, is start from the beginning. Where did you grow up and what did you want to be when you were a kid?
Oh, wow. I grew up in Florence, Italy. So I was actually there until I was 20, and then I started traveling everywhere pretty much. So I did study hotel management school in Florence when I was 14 years old. And honestly, it was just like something I wanted to do because I wanted to travel the world. And no one in my family was in the restaurant or the hotel business. So my mom was shocked. I'm a single child. So she was like, what do you mean you want to travel the world? So, and that's kind of like what was my idea about picking up a school that was going to bring me, eventually in California.
And it was less about food at that point, but more about some like wanderlust. What inspired you? Did you have a particular country that you knew you wanted to go to, or were there television shows or something that inspired this desire to travel?
I don't think back then there was many television show about cooking. I mean, your television show was Nonna's house. So it's actually, I mean, culturally, Italians are very attached to everything that is food and everything that is like the religious moment of being at the table. So I think that's a cultural thing. I was very young, so my desire was kind of like to explore, and I've always been very curious. I was very lucky. I picked the right school for me, and I brought it with me until today. So it's been a blessing. It's been a big blessing for me.
So at age 20, where was your first destination after Florence?
I actually landed in New York. I was in New York. I was pretty much shipped to New York by some very well about business people that I met in Italy. And they were opening a gelato store in Manhattan back in 2000. Pretty much one of the first homemade gelato stores that were in Manhattan back then, Italian gelato store. And nothing, it was like they sent me to learn how to make gelato at the Carpigiani factory in Bologna from Dr. Valli. So I was very lucky to learn how to make gelato from one of the best gelato maker out there. And nothing, I was shipped to New York and start this crazy experience, which I loved. I think was maybe the best professional experience, the one that pretty much changed my life. New York.
What was the name of the gelato store and where was it located? I lived in New York at the same time, so I'm curious.
How funny. It was Il Gelatone on 3rd Avenue between 28th and 29th Street. If you're familiar with Murray Hill, it was right in front of a very famous Chinese restaurant called 28 Nudo.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure I went by there or at least stopped in at one point.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience, and it was my first experience outside of my country as well. So was as incredible as stressful, because I opened a store, nobody was here, so I had to learn the language. I had to learn how to, to put the store together. It was not my first time. When I first got out of school, um, with the family of the girl that was with, we opened a bar. That's where I met the person that brought me to New York eventually.
Okay.
And when my relationship with her ended, I just left for New York. And then in New York, I kind of like my whole traveling experience started. So.
Wow, and to get thrown into not only a new language, because you said you weren't speaking English prior.
I still don't.
Your English is excellent. But to go into New York City of all places, which is a very hard city to run a restaurant. It
Yes.
can be really amazing, but also very challenging given how many there are. And then also just culturally, the big shock, like do you remember your like highs and your lows from that early experience?
Well, I remember this. First of all, I wasn't speaking English. So the first thing I had to do, because the gelato store was not quite finished to be built. So I had to hire the constructor, some of the plumbing, the refrigeration guy. I had to open a bank account, and I wasn't speaking English. So I literally, back in the day, there were still the Yellow Pages. I mean, the New York Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
And I was literally looking for accountant with an Italian last name. Kidding you.
That's a very smart tactic or strategy.
Speak Italian on the phone until I was finding someone that did understand me. So pretty much what happened is like I built like this small, the gelato store was not huge, but still I needed a lot of help. I created like this small group of Italian that were referring me to another Italian guy and the friend of the friend. And so I was able kind of like to be able to open the gelato store without being able to speak English. That's pretty much what happened. And those one kind of like stay like my dear friend. I still talk to some of them, and it's something that it will be with me forever, because that's what it allowed me to, grow as a human, grow in a city that was not my city, and then eventually learn English and learn how to run a small business and learn how to live in New York, which was very hard.
How many years were you there?
I was there for a little bit over 2 years. I was there during September 11, unfortunately, so I had to go through like the crazy part of history and being there in a crazy time. I stayed as much as I could, because professionally was the best experience I ever had, and we were very successful. The gelato store was very successful. We had like article on the New York Times, and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, especially lived by the eyes of a person that live in a completely different culture and country. Realizing that if you're on the daily news on the New York Times on Wednesday, then you can expect 2 blocks of line of people
Right.
that stand up in line without knowing what you're selling. And for me, it was like, what?
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Incredible. That's a very unique system there. It's amazing.
So it was a special experience. It was culture crushing for me, because was very unusual for me. First of all, I've always been in the hospitality business, and I think some of us have they're more inclined to be in front of people and with people and take care of customer service. So I think you develop this it's almost a need, like, to connect with people. I think New York is very unique for that. Let's say the city. I don't want to say the state. It's just the city. Manhattan is very unique for that. Like you might can get by to talk to 3 people without someone looking you in the eyes. Hi, how are you? Thank you, bye, and still don't get connection. So that was very hard for me. But it's just like I was also very young. I was 20 years old, so everything maybe was amplified, and of course I was there in a crazy moment of historical moment. So, but I am so grateful, because that kind of opened my eye of doing things differently and doing things out of my comfort zone, and seeing how the world was outside of my little town of Florence.
I mean, the fact that you could do that and be so scrappy and in New York City. I mean, they say if you can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere. So then I feel like that is very true in your case. Is so you were there for 2 years, and then was your next step California?
No, I actually went back to Italy.
Okay.
I went back to Italy because I wasn't sure at that point anymore if this American dream was exactly the dream I wanted to live. I was kind of like, beautiful, yes, a lot of opportunity, definitely nothing comparable to my own country. Of course, it didn't help the fact that I was there in maybe the craziest historical time I could be. Single child, my mom every other day was like, "What are you doing there?" There was a lot of alert, there was a lot of fear. So, it was. It arrived to a point where I was like, "Okay, maybe the universe is telling me that I have to go back." I went back doing what I've been doing pretty much throughout my career, which is bartending and working behind bars. And I landed a really good job in Piazza della Signoria, which is the main town of Florence, right in front of the Uffizi Gallery, just because I was able to speak a little bit better English than the average. So although I was very young for the overall team, they hired me because I was able to speak a little bit better than them English. So I got hired in this really nice place, and there I met a person that brought me again to the United States, because my goal was eventually to live again, because I wasn't fitting in Florence anymore, believe it or not. After I tried New York wasn't for me, but then I came back, then Florence wasn't for me anymore. So they always say when you start traveling, you kind of lose your roots. It's so true, because you're never going to find a place that is perfect, because you're always going to find something that you love from somewhere, that you miss from the place that you left. And it's always going to be like that. And I experienced it myself. I thought it was never going to happen, because I thought Florence was the best place to live in the world. Yeah. But then it became small for me. It became like, I have to work so hard for no real opportunity. And it's literally like it's not worth it for a young person to be there and build their career there. And I think I was right, because I left in 2004 and I came to California. So I landed a job in Ventura, California. I worked at Caffè Fiore.
Okay.
And with Maria Fiore. And I think that kind of like my California experience started. Very different as well. I became a surfer.
You have to if you're coming out.
I mean, definitely in Ventura you have to. If you just if you don't want to be bored, and only work. So I became a surfer. Can tell you, I was one of the best Italian surfer in the water, because there was nobody else. And I think that's how I fell in love with California. I embraced the culture and love everything about it. I love, of course, the weather. I love the way how you can be laid back, and you can live a week in flip flops and shorts, and it's not hard to get used to. And I think that's kind of like where everything started.
So I'm curious, though, from this point, I mean, in 2 times in your experience, you had support from somebody who wanted to help bring you to the United States, it sounds like. Is that something that it's such an interesting, probably personality trait? Obviously, you said you like connection, you're able to like have these relationships, but how does one do that? Are you just, did you have a connection, which you said? Were you manifesting it in today's language of like, I want to do this, and you're trying to find somebody, or did it just kind of fall in your lap?
I mean, I think it's a combination. Yeah. I think our job maybe is the best networking job you can have. Being like in the dining room, being behind the bar, we're pretty much in the part where people are having a good time. We're part of their celebration moment. We're part of like the good part of life. So if you're somehow a good communicator and you do everything you can right, or the best you can, it's not hard to kind of like connect to those people that maybe can bring you to the next level. Mm-hmm. I always say to all the people that work with us, one day at the bar I met someone and something happened, and I was serving something at the bar. It's not that I was seated at the bar, because I don't even drink, believe it or not. But it's like, it's where I connected to people, and you connect to people, and you find business partner, and you find investor, and you find people that bring you to the other side of the ocean, and you find people that offer you a gelato chef's job and stuff like that. It always happens somewhere, somehow, in a bar or in a restaurant where I connected with someone. So I'm a firm believer that my next opportunity will come from a restaurant.
It's amazing. It makes me happy to hear.
Yeah.
So you were in Ventura, Cafe Fiore, which seems to be sort of a meeting place for a lot of Italians in the area. There's some connection to Cafe Fiore. And then how did you end up down here in Thousand Oaks, Westlake?
So I actually I brought to work at Cafe Fiore one of my dearest friends, which was working as a chef, and we did hotel management school together. And then me and him, we opened our first restaurant in 2007 in Moore Park, which was an incredible experience. It was our first restaurant in California. I'm kind of always been the front of the house guy, and he was always like the back of the house. We were like literally best friend. We grew up together, and just like I learned another lesson. Growing up, and maybe growing up too fast is not always the best thing. Okay. So we were exposed, especially him. He was exposed to TV, to entertainment, and to things that were bigger than us, than we would have ever dreamed. And I was with him in a lot of things, and unfortunately, we grew apart. So the success struck us and kind of put a huge boost on everything that we were doing. And someone said that success is harder to handle than failure. I saw it happen with my eyes to my best friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's actually been a good thing for both of us.
Okay.
He's very successful, and I wish nothing but the best for him. And I was able to build back.
Got it. So that was sort of a critical turning point in your career after this. You both went separate ways, and you went on your own business ventures on your own after that.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting.
I had to start from zero. So for me, it was a little harder, He was the celebrity at the point, and literally, like, he was doing all the celebrity things. And I was kind of like, okay, I have to fell on my knee, on my butt, which is important. And, scroll myself and start from zero again. Someone told me at that point, is like, if you have it in you, you're going to create your own destiny. So I was like, do I? Like, I eventually did.
That's amazing. I love that. And that's so important. It's true. Like, we are in control of our own destiny, and good for you for like picking it back up and doing that. So but you still had this desire to stay in hospitality. It didn't stop you from wanting to go that route.
No, I mean, to me, the restaurant is my home. I always say the home is where my dog sleeps. The restaurant is where it's really my home. I just live and breathe the restaurants. I will never see myself without one. Just because that's, after so many years, it kind of you're so used to that. You're throwing party every day, that's pretty much what we do. We open our house and we welcome people to have good time and create this beautiful experience, and we get to enjoy them with them, So if we're doing it right, and if the business is successful, it's a beautiful thing to have. Unfortunately, the restaurant business is tough, so it's not always successful. It's not always as easy. There is definitely a lot of. Danny Meyer says, if you're running a good restaurant, you look like a duck. So it's very calm on the top, and you're like going crazy on the bottom. That's exactly how it is, So when it's showtime, nobody knows what we're going through. We might be two men short on the line. And still like smiling and hugging and kissing, and that's the challenge that owning a restaurant has. But there's a lot of beautiful things as well.
But you sort of thrive on that energy, it sounds like, and maybe always have.
I think it's almost addictive. You kind of like crave it. I have friends that sold restaurants and then stay without for a small period of time, and then go back in because it's very hard. When you used to have it, it's very, very hard. It's not just the job, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what year did you open Nonna?
I opened Nonna in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So it took me, I sold all my businesses in 2013 to my former business partner. And then it took me 5 years to find the right opportunity. And not only find the right opportunity, I find the right partner, which became like family to me. He owns another very successful business. So he's John of Italy. He's the owner of the salon in Westlake Village. So he was the owner of Bellini, and he knew that I was looking to open my own place. And me and him partnered up, and I think it was the best partnership I had so far.
What was the Italian food scene like in Westlake or in this area back then?
Honestly, it was great. I mean, everybody was telling me, like, are you crazy? You're opening your restaurant in front of Tuscany? Which was crazy because I think Tuscany is an example for every restaurateur. I know Tommaso very well. I work with him as well. And, there is not many restaurateurs that can say that they hold on their restaurant for 40 years and being successful for 40 years. He can say so. So my hat to him. We have only to learn from him. Mm-hmm. But, it's like, I also know that in life, if you don't risk, you don't win. So I took that risk.
What was the idea with the cuisine and the restaurant style when you opened Nonna?
Well, the idea was exactly what it came into play. So sometimes it doesn't work like that. You have an idea and then you have to pivot the idea because not everybody understands. And honestly, I was a little concerned because we were like, let's literally do Nonna's food and do it exactly how Nonna will do it. Let's do all the pasta homemade. Let's do exactly like Nonna will do it. And hopefully people will understand. Because the problem sometimes is not always the audience is ready, and I can comfortably say that because my wife is born and raised in Thousand Oaks, and I can tell you when I bring her to Italy, she does not like everything that is done the way the Italian eat it. So if you're too extreme here, you might have a crash. If you serve certain things that people are not used to, if you don't understand what the customer, what the guests are looking for. So we kind of take a little bit of a leap of faith there and say, let's do it like Nonna does it, and let's hope that it's embraced. And it was.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I always love like your raw starters. That always inspires me, the seafood starters. And I don't know if that is as much. It is funny. I didn't realize you opened in 2018. Just from when I first started coming to Thousand Oaks was in 2018. My former employer, every employee dinner we had was at Nonna. So it was pretty early on in the business, but it always felt like it was a fine-tuned running machine. And I never would have guessed it was a new restaurant at that point. So did you find sort of early success, like right away the community embraced you, or what was that experience like?
Almost incredible. Incredible. Yes. I mean, again, a lot of it, I was kind of justifying it because, I've been in the Conejo Valley back in 2018, was already 15 years that was in this area between working in some places in Westlake Village and having my own place in Moore Park. So I knew that I had a substantial group of friends that would have given me a shot when I opened my place. But again, if you don't deliver, they're not going to come to see you because they like you. They want to have the experience. They want to make sure that, you can deliver on what you're doing. So, but I would have never expect. I would honestly, the restaurant that we took over was there for a long time. Was Bellini, and they had his up and down, and was a moment that needed a refreshment and it needed something new. And I think bringing the new blood and bringing new vision, changing the name, changing the decor. It really boosted it, and it was an organic growth, but not very slow, very fast.
That's great. Yeah. Yes, well, that's I would assume the best way that it should happen.
Exactly.
Now you own a second restaurant. But before we get there, it sounds like part of and what a lot of people maybe know you online as is this sort of personality. Speaking of entertainment, you created your
I
own
apologize.
brand
I
of
apologize.
restaurant comedy. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but behind the scenes of restaurant life, kind of in a really sort of satirical fashion. Is that how did that get started, and do you enjoy it?
You learn how to enjoy it because, like, eventually, the more you do it, the more you're comfortable with it. I think people of my generation are not really born to be in front of camera naturally, so you have to break that initial block. I have to say, like, the little experience that we had back when we had Caffè Firenze back in Moore Park, I had to kind of get used to because every once in a while we were in TV for whatever, for some reason. So that kind of like what kind of started breaking the ice for me to be in front of camera. Then when Nonna opened up, we honestly were not very active on social media. I have a passion, which maybe would have been my profession if I wasn't in this business, which is passion of photography. And then photography, videography, kind of like gets one takes the end of the other.
Yeah.
So during COVID is when we started being active, and we had the time. We had the time to take nice photography shot, create a studio in the restaurant. So when the chef were preparing dishes, although our restaurant was closed down, we were able to actually create a good, a pretty decent like presence on our social media. And that was the time where, being a good marketer was essential to stay alive, And nothing from there, it kind of like started evolving. And, my idea was, as I was doing before when I had Caffè Firenze, it was like, I'm going to do the cocktail video and the video for the front of the house. And then the chef was going to do the video for the back of the house. And I just told my chef, which now is my business partner, I was like, let's do it. You do the video, you do the cooking video, I do the cocktail video, and that's how we're gonna start doing content for the Instagram. And it wasn't really for him. He was like, I like to cook. I don't want to be in front of the camera.
Fair enough.
So and nothing. I mean, I love to cook. I love to do anything that is in part of my business. I mean, as I told you, I did hotel management school, so I'm not shy to be behind the kitchen of my own restaurant either. I just love it. I'm not a chef the way they are. It's not. I don't do that every day, but I love to cook. So I say, you know what? I'll do it, and that's how I started.
Got it.
We started doing the cooking video. And eventually you learn. The more video you do, the more you learn what people want to see. And I brought in Nonna, which is my business partner wife, which she's a Nonna. She's a real Nonna. That's Tina, which I love dearly.
I know. And she's so good on camera too. She really is, like, she's gorgeous.
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's the best. And nothing. And we start doing our cooking video, and then we were seeing like the less educational and the more fun it was, the more people were gravitating towards. And then since, my way to break the ice in front of the camera usually is to be silly, and it kind of turned into, let's do one educational, let's do one silly. Let's do one educational, let's do two silly. And then eventually one got viral, like 240 million viral.
Which one was it? Which video was it? Do you remember?
It was a video where me and some of my kitchen staff are in the kitchen, and there is the guy that stand up and say, "Who made this chicken?" And he's aggressive, and we're with the knife in the kitchen, and we're like, "Why?" It's like, "Because I love it." And it's like, it went bizarre.
It's a really funny video. You have to go watch it if you have not seen it.
It went crazy, and from there I had no option. I had to keep going.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know I did not know that, but YouTube gives you like these awards for subscriber reach, and it's crazy. Like, it's a completely different award, which it doesn't belong to me or my generation, or like I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
I discovered it while I was going, because all my employees were like, oh my God, you're gonna get a plaque, and you're gonna, what's a plaque? What is?
What is YouTube doing?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
You gotta, and then everybody was telling me like, oh, you gotta monetize it, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. I was like, 1 second, I'm running restaurants. It's like, it's not.
Yeah.
And eventually, I was able to have an incredible, talented person that started helping me, which is Mia Mormino, which she does all my videoing and the editing, and she's helping me pretty much with everything in the social media, and I'm so blessed to have her. And nothing, we start going more in the direction of being silly and do funny things more than educational, and people love it and people watch it, which for me is like, I cannot believe it. My wife, my judgment was like, if I go home and my wife tell me, what the hell are you doing, it was going to be a good one.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's true. The more sort of eye-rolly ones are actually better for everybody. That's great.
That's
I
really
love it. And do you find, I think a lot of times when some of the listeners are aspiring business owners and they have trouble understanding how to reach new customers or acquire new customers, and social media obviously is a free way to reach more people. But to your point, sometimes we think, educational, or like you think a certain type of content is going to work, but you leaned into the silly because you saw it was working. Have you noticed though that it also converts to new customers, or is it more just like a different channel altogether and it is part of entertainment that is fun and like allows you to, like you said, monetize maybe a different thing?
It's honestly, it's very hard. It's very hard because Instagram, YouTube, you never know which audience you really reach.
Yeah.
And for restaurant, there, we're brick and mortar. It's hard to focalize it only on a small group. I mean, if things can go viral like worldwide, and you don't even know where they're gonna be seen.
Right.
So I don't necessarily think that you can convert that, but it's obviously helps. I mean, the craziest part for me was how many people were coming to the restaurant telling me, "Oh my God, I love your last video. Oh my God!" And to me, it was like, "Oh, this is insane! Like, it's just crazy that people really watch it."
Yeah.
And then, honestly, for us, it turned into team working opportunities, because the more it started becoming a thing for us, the more everybody wanted to be on it, especially the young kids that they're born with the cell phone. They're so natural.
It's
They
innate to
know
them.
what to
Yes.
do.
Right.
So for them, it's like, oh, you wanted me to do the video? Oh my God, I would love it. And now it becomes more like, okay, one at a time, guys.
Right. Everybody wants to be a part of them. I
Yeah,
can
it's
imagine.
amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. They help incredibly, and it creates this feel when you come to the restaurant. You feel like you already know all of them because
Yes.
you watch the videos. You feel like, oh, this is the guy that did this cat. Oh, this is the girl, and you feel like you're already in a familiar environment.
Yeah.
Although maybe might be your first time there, so that's helpful.
That's great. And it definitely shows off the personality and sort of allows you to differentiate yourself maybe a little bit as well, which is really, I think important too. Okay. Well, it sounds like you kind of had things in a steady place at Nonna. You've got this other entertainment part. What made you decide to explore this new venture?
I like problems. That's
Okay, we're looking
as
at it as
easy
a
as it
problem.
gets.
Interesting.
Life was too easy, and I'm
Yeah.
not used to it. So no, it's again. I think what doesn't grow, what doesn't evolve, it dies.
Okay.
So Nonna was definitely destined to grow. There is a lot of people that participate to the success of Nonna, and I think exactly as it happened to me, people rewarded me for the good job I've done, and they gave me the chance to grow. I did not have the money to start and owning my own businesses, so nothing. I think I wanted to be able to pay back, and the chef, my GM, and the people that have been around me, they have been the reason why I've been successful. So when we arrived to a point where we needed to grow, they needed to grow, I needed to grow, and I'm 47 years old, and I have a lot of gas still. So I told them, like, let's look for something else. So we were looking, and we've been close to a lot of different deals, and they got the chance also to understand how hard it is to make a deal, because it's very hard.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're not in business, you think, oh, okay, well, I like the spot, let's get it. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Just in terms of negotiating lease, finding the right
Yeah,
fit.
it's always, yeah. I mean, you have to, first of all, you have to find the right spot. When you find the right spot, you have to make sure you can execute your concept in the right spot. Not every spot can allow you to have full bar. Not every spot can allow you to have live music. Not every spot can allow you to have 300 people in your room. Not every spot can allow you to do Italian cuisine. No, that's kind of like, already by then you're taking off 50% of what you find.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, how much it costs me to do a full build out? Should I buy something that is already built? And that was a very good learning experience. Not for me much, because I went through already one too many times, but
you just mentioned it was a new experience for the rest of your team.
Exactly, yes. So, and for them, it was kind of like as well frustrating, because they were like, okay, it's never going to happen. Oh my God, this is not going to happen. It's like, it's so hard. And we try this, and we spend 6 months after this project, and then this fell apart. And we spent a year after this project, and that fell apart. Is it ever going to happen? It's like, so it was becoming like, oh my God, this is so hard, and it's not going to happen. So I knew it was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. And, the most important part is to have the team, because without the team, doesn't matter if you find a spot, you cannot do it. And nothing, this opportunity came about, and I started talking to the ownership and the management about the opportunity for us to take over. Honestly, I couldn't believe it, because when we started talking was literally like maybe they were open only for a year. Okay. And I think this is one of the most beautiful build out in our area.
It's really
so I was very surprised that they were ready to let go. But then after they explained to me the situation and everything that happened, made a lot of sense. So they were more like looking for an operator, someone that could actually bring the property to the next level. And they knew me from Nonna. And nothing, we start talking, and initially something that I was the first one believing, like, I don't think it's just like, it's a big project, and it's more than what I thought.
Okay.
The more time we start learning about it, the more time we were like, okay, yeah, we are the right group for this. We felt all very comfortable about it. It's a big undertaking. This place is huge. It's
right. And so if somebody's listening and doesn't know what we're talking about, it was previously Selvins.
Correct.
Newbury Park. So that's the space that you've taken over.
Yeah. And, it's actually a little smaller of my first place. Caffè Firenze was bigger than this.
Oh, wow.
So, yes. So that what made me like, okay, that would be a little deja vu here, because, it's big spaces have different challenges. They have different upside, different challenges. But I was like, this is the strongest team I ever had around me. So if we can do it, it's going to be hard for a lot of others. So I was feeling very comfortable in that aspect. Not that it's easy or comfortable for anybody doing something like that, but I knew that we had what it takes to do it.
Okay.
And nothing. January 1st, we got the key of this castle, and I didn't even know how to turn on the lights on. And
we're not even at the end of February. And I will say, when I heard the news, and then all of a sudden you guys were open, I thought, wow, I have never seen something like that.
Yeah, we're crazy. I'm very driven, and if I put something in my head, I'll make it happen. Yeah. And I said I was going to open January 20th, and I did not sleep until I opened. So it was not easy. Maybe one of the hardest things I've done. And we're not getting younger, so it's harder not to sleep at night, and it's harder to push like 18 hours work every day, all day. So, but it worked. It proved that the right team was put together, and we have what it takes to turn around in 20 days. It's very hard. It's not for everybody. And honestly, we're very blessed from a series of situation, which we were able to pretty much rehire all the staff that was present here in Selvin. So we were going through retraining them and just showing them the new way to do things. But I feel very blessed that we had them and we have them because it will allow us to open in such a short time. Yeah, for sure.
That's incredible. I am curious, you have a short amount of time. Why not just do Nonna 2.0, Nonna Newbury Park? Why a whole new concept?
All new concept because it's only like 8 minutes away from Nonna, first of all. So I don't think was first right for Nonna to make another Nonna so close. I don't think it's smart to build restaurants so close to each other and have the same exact concept. Then the reality is that my chef a Nonna, Cristian Trovato, is my business partner at Sette Sorelle. And then the chef at Sette Sorelle, which is Francesco Pesce, is my business partner at Sette Sorelle. So they get to execute their own talent in their own way. And I honestly think was the hardest decision to take because definitely it's harder to create a new concept, new menu, new recipe, new everything. But looking back, I think it was extremely, extremely beneficial to us because people now can come today to Sette Sorelle and go tomorrow to Nonna and have two different meals and have two different experience and have two different cocktail lists. It's managed by the same people or by the same core group, but the experience is different. That's what we wanted.
Could you explain the difference? What is Sette? Would you describe Sette Sorelle?
So I think to explain it, we have to actually start from a little bit the story of it. Yeah. So nonna in Italian means grandma, for who doesn't know that. And grandma, I always say, like, grandma's house for me was the place where if I was in trouble from my parents, I was going to hide in grandma's house. And while I was hiding, she was feeding me the best food I ever had. So it's comfort, it's classic, it's vintage, and it has that homey vibe, and that's exactly what Nonna is. You come in and it's like, although it's newly decorated, has all the vintage stuff around and has, all purposely different plateware, different silverware. It's meant to be chic but shabby. Okay. Shabby chic. So just like grandma's house. And that reflects a little bit what Nonna will serve. Nonna will serve only homemade pasta. Nonna will serve the classic recipe, which is the polpette, the eggplant parmigiana, the classic pizza. Everything that is classic, everything that you think, an Italian restaurant, Nonna has it on the menu. Then when Selvin came about, when Sette Sorelle came about, I look at the space, and as you can tell, it's not very masculine. It's very feminine. There is rose everywhere. It's very modern. It's beautiful. Yes. And I was like, well, we're gonna have. This is definitely not gonna. It's not looking like a Nonna first. It's not gonna be like. It's not gonna be a Nonna because I didn't want to open another Nonna next to Nonna. I said, well, let's keep it in the family and let's call it Sette Sorelle. So Sette Sorelle in Italian means 7 sisters. My mom is one of 7 sisters. So it's in honor of my mom and my aunts, which is our Nonna's daughters. So it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And the more I spend time in the space, the more it makes me feel this could be their home. Because it's very feminine and it's definitely more modern than Nonna and now has some of their favorite dishes, which not necessarily are what Nonna cooks anymore. So the kitchen, the culinary experience is a little bit more close to what modern Italian cuisine is now. So if you go to Italy, you have those restaurants that are around from the 1700, the 1800, and they serve their same 10 dishes for the last 200 years. But then you also have the new generation. You have the new generation that now goes after being a little bit more modern. Instead of serving the classic Napolitan style pizza, which is served on Nonna, here we serve the Roman style pizza, which is a little bit modern approach of what's happening in the culinary scene back in Italy. And instead of serving the bread and the tapenade on the table, which is a classic things you will have in every nonna's house, you can come and pick and choose your spread that might have a little bit more Mediterranean flair. Not that we want to be a Mediterranean restaurant, but if you go in Italy also now, you might start finding stuff like that. You
Different
might find
influences.
exactly. You might find the hummus. You might find the baba ganoush. You might find the spicy feta, as well as you find an olive tapenade or olive and balsamic. So we wanted to create a little bit more modern approach to Italian cuisine. And honestly, we've been open for a month now, which feels like 3 years. And it seems that people really like it. So we're very, very happy. We've been having an incredible support from the community. And I'm very pleased to see that a lot of people come, from Newbury Park, of course, Thousand Oaks, some of the old friends that come, of course, from Nonna, but a lot of Camarillo. So it's beautiful to see how it's taking shape and is actually becoming its own identity. It's not Nonna Stew, or like someone say Nonna West. It's is actually Sette Sorelle, and it's very unique. And we have 2 bars, an indoor bar, an outdoor bar. We can see 30 people in both bars, and live music. It definitely has its own identity. It's very different from the way you feel when you go to Nonna, and we never try to replicate that because that's very unique. And I think it's going to be very hard to replicate in Sette Sorelle now because it's very unique as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a really beautiful, thoughtful evolution of the original brand. So congratulations, and I'm so happy to hear it's been well received. I am curious. I love it. I mean, the bars at Selvins and now Sette Sorelle are beautiful. They're huge. Like you said, there's 2 different versions. I know currently you're sort of reservation only, but can somebody go in and drop in at the bar?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
We do have area where the first come first serve. The bar is one. We have lounge areas, so when you walk in, there are like few lounge. We have a communal table now that sits up to 8 people. So absolutely, there is always room for people that want to walk in. Of course, if you want to have the experience and sit down and be in our dining room or our patio, definitely suggest reservations. But if you don't have one, don't be shy. Just come on in. We'll show you how hospitable we are.
Okay, good to know. I was unsure, and I want to come and hang out. It sounds amazing. You have done a lot and just not even open one restaurant, opening multiple restaurants. It's really incredible. Congratulations. Sounds like you probably have more in you too, based on the gas that's left.
I don't know in the short term. In the long term, yes. The short term, I don't think so.
Well, I want to hear about your vision, but first, what are you most proud of so far?
Most proud so far is that I was able to fulfill my desire, which is to grow and to have the people around me grow with me. That was my desire. So sometimes it's not everything dictated by you and what you want. You have to have a situation that can come together. And I was able to follow through what I said I was gonna do, which is very important to me.
What's been the most challenging part of running your businesses?
There's a lot of challenges. I mean, every day there's challenges. I think it's all a matter how you actually read them and perceive them. If I was worrying about challenges, I was never going to open a business. So I always look like, it's every challenge. It makes you a better operator, a better person, a better husband, friends, partner. So I always take it like the challenger, throw it to the people that can handle it. So if they throw it on me, it means that I have to handle it. Yeah.
Okay, I know you said no more restaurants in the short term, but what is your vision for the Jacopo brand? What you're doing? Where are we going to see you in the next 5-10 years?
It's not Jacopo brand. It's always like I always say there's always a lot of people that make this happen. There is no one person. Then one person cannot do what I'm doing. So it's always all of us. And now I have I have something else that I have to fulfill because I open a restaurant in the name of my Nonna. I open a restaurant in the name of my aunt and my mom. My dad is waiting.
You know what? Good point. We got to see the
Yeah.
full family
So
represented.
the next one, who knows, maybe will be a very male steakhouse with a speakeasy, whiskey bar, cigar lounge, who knows? But something for my dad for sure.
I think that's really sweet. I can't wait for that to come to life.
Me too. He's waiting too.
I bet. Okay, well, I have thank you. I know you give me a lot of time today. I just have 3 rapid fire questions to close everything up. I know this is hard as a restaurant owner, but what is your current favorite dish? Maybe at Nonna and at Sette Sorelle.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm from Florence. So I was born eating steak, and Fiorentina, it's definitely my go-to. So a Nonna, the first thing I will pick, it's our 50-ounce porterhouse, and I will eat it with the cacio e pepe, that the way Christian makes it, it's nobody can beat him. So cacio e pepe and Fiorentina, rare.
Whew, okay.
Absolutely. We have only one temperature in Florence. We don't take temperature in Florence. Of course, we do take them here, but not in Florence. Yeah. So I eat my steak rare. Yes. And at Sette Sorelle, there is a lot, because I'm actually discovering it with everybody else, because the chef, I worked with him prior to this experience, so his talent is incredible, and he's developing recipe also based on what we see that people like. But oh my god, all the pinza are like mouth-watering. Are incredible. I absolutely love his branzino dish, which is it's a whole branzino filet with tomato confit and a crust of potato, served with sauteed garlic spinach, which is the perfect representation of Italy, because it's so simple and so delicious. That is literally like 5 ingredients, the whole dish, and it's like perfection to me. And then chef wife, Claudine Bernard, she's an incredible pastry chef, not only, but incredible pastry chef. Oh my God, you will never stop eating her desserts, ever. So I will start with the key lime pie, I will go through the sticky toffee butter cake, her version of a tiramisu. Nobody can beat her.
Oh, I can't wait to try. Tiramisu is hands down my favorite.
I'm telling you, and I'm a tiramisu lover.
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
This is the one. Okay. Yes.
So that's perfect combination. When you can talk like this about your business partner and the people that they do all the hard job in the back of the house, it's like you're in a good place.
Yeah, you're living the dream. I love it, and you get to enjoy the food, so it's a win-win all around.
Yes.
Okay, what is your favorite thing to do in the Conejo Valley?
Ooh, well, I when I have time, I love to mountain bike. So I think I know a lot of the mountain around us, and I invite everybody to explore them, because we live in one of the best area to discover nature, trails, animal, and what is the beauty that we're around it from. So I don't have a lot of time lately, but if the first thing I will do around Conejo Valley for sure would be mountain biking. Okay,
last question for you, Jacopo. What is one piece of advice you would offer to a first-time entrepreneur?
Don't open a restaurant.
We can't trust you with that advice because you have obviously not adhered to
it. Don't listen to everybody's fear. Their fears are not your fears. Just do it. If everybody will do it, we all own business, we all do the same thing. I would say if we all like the same girl, we'll be screwed. Be awful. So if the guts tell you is right, million of people, including your family, they'll tell you, what the hell are you thinking? these one are their fears. They're not your fears. Just do it.
Amazing. Mic drop. Thank you so much for all your time, for sharing your journey. Congratulations on all your success. And we can't wait to see what's still to come.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Conejo Valley Visionaries. If you like today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And don't forget to rate and review us. That's the best way to support the podcast. To enter our giveaways, learn about local events, and to find out more about each guest, follow at Conejo Valley Visionaries on Instagram. If you want to share your visionary story on the podcast, send us an email. We are always open to guest nominations. Email conejovalleyvisionaries@gmail.com. This episode was produced by Cristina Dennstedt and Justin K. Sloan. Conejo Valley Visionaries is edited by Justin K. Sloan and J.Sloan Productions.